All right. Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for our information session on master's programs in Boston University's College of Communication. We're excited that you're here and that you're ready to launch your career in communication and media. I'm Lori Nichols, the Assistant Dean of Graduate Affairs here at the college, and my team and I hope that this session gives you a sense of our exciting and dynamic graduate community here in downtown Boston, and to see if it's a good match to help you achieve your goals. Before we really get started, a few items to note. First of all, this session is being recorded as well as our program sessions, and these will be available at some point next week. If you're watching this during our live event, please feel free to post your questions in the chat. We'll also have time at the end of the Prezi to answer your questions. And if you're watching a recording of this, then please feel free to email us your questions at comgrad@bu.edu. And now I'd like to introduce you to the fantastic Graduate Affairs team. Our team is here to provide a one-stop shop for graduate students in the College of Communication from the time of application all the way through graduation. So Kayla, do you want to kick us off?
Of course, thank you, Lori. So my name is Kayla Ring, and I'm the Director of Graduate Affairs here at the College of Communication. I work with students from the moment that they're interested in graduate degrees, like all of you, all the way through to graduation. I'm assisting students with some academic advising as well. I'll pass it off now to Jackie Cummings.
Thanks, Kayla. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jackie Cummings. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions and Financial Aid here at the College of Communication. So very excited to help you through the application process, answer any questions that you have about admissions or financial aid opportunities. And I'll pass it to my colleague, Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Bowen. I'm the Marketing and Communication Specialist for the Grad Affairs team here at COM. I manage content for our prospective students about life as a COM grad student, and I'll share tips and resources with our newly accepted and enrolled students to help them prepare to join us here on campus. Very excited to welcome everyone here today, and now I'll pass it over to Lou.
Thanks, Christy. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. My name is Lu He. I'm Assistant Director of Academic Affairs at College of Communication. So originally, I'm from China. So anyone here today speak and understand Mandarin? My name also pronounced He Lu. So I help grad students at COM to resolve their academic related issues and help them create their long-term, short-term academic planning, and also support them with the resources they need to help a smooth transition here at COM at BU.
Great. All right. Thanks, everybody. The team and I look forward to working with you throughout your grad school search and hopefully through your time here at COM. So our agenda, first, we'll be starting out with an overview of COM and general information about our programs, which will hopefully help you to choose which program session to attend after this presentation. We'll also be giving you an overview of life in Boston, housing, financial aid and scholarships, and the application process. After that, we'll have our academic program sessions, which are led by our faculty, and you'll learn more about the curriculum, professional opportunities, and they'll get into details about the program. You'll also be able to ask specific questions about your grad program of interest, so we encourage you to hold your questions that are specific to one of our programs until the program sessions that follow this presentation. If you're interested in more than one program, just choose one program session to attend. Maybe it's the one you have the most questions about, and then you can watch the recording of the other programs after. Then feel free to email us your specific questions about the program. That question might already be answered on the program pages on our website, so feel free to take a look at those. And you can always email us questions at comgrad@bu.edu. Okay, and the next slide. So maybe you're looking for an opportunity to work on a real news broadcast alongside experienced professionals, or maybe you want to conduct groundbreaking research in the communication field, or maybe you want to be part of a team that's creating the next viral advertising campaign. And at COM, you'll have a chance to do this and a lot more. We have a unique blend of academic rigor and hands-on experience, so you'll be prepared for successful careers in our ever-changing field of communication and media. So the College of Communication, or what we call COM, which you'll hear throughout the presentation, is one of 17 colleges at BU, which is located in downtown Boston, Massachusetts. People describe Boston as historic, cultural, innovative, high-tech, beautiful. We have all 4 seasons, and there's a lot to do in Boston during each season, from going to the beach in the summer to skiing in the winter. Among the advantages of going to school in a world-class city, you'll have access to internship and networking opportunities with the end goal of establishing your communication career. Also, Boston is known as America's college town due to the number of colleges and universities in the area that bring about 250,000 students to Boston and the surrounding area each year. And Christy will be talking more about the city later. While BU as a whole has more than 33,000 undergraduate and grad students, COM is a much smaller community. We have approximately 500 graduate students across 1 PhD and 10 master's programs, which you'll be hearing more about in a few minutes. But before we delve into that, I want to point out a few things that make COM different. First, since our smaller COM community is part of a much larger university, students have access to a huge number of resources that are available to the entire BU community, including clubs and activities. We have a really impressive fitness and recreation center, dining facilities, student services offices, including the Newberry Center for first-generation students, a disability and access services office, and the Howard Thurman Center for Common Ground, which is BU's cultural hub. We also have Agganis Arena, which hosts BU hockey games, as well as a number of concerts and other entertainment. And that's in addition to all of the other concerts and entertainment that come through the city of Boston. COM students are also part of College of Communication specific clubs and activities, all of which help you gain experience in the field and enhance your resume. Some of our groups include Ad Lab, PR Lab, BU News Service, BU TV 10, WTBU radio station, Real World Productions, the Communication Research Center, plus our Graduate Student Council. And we can talk more about those, all of those specifics later. BU is ranked number 41 among national universities by US News and World Report, and number 7 among campuses with the most international students as ranked by Open Doors. BU is also a Research 1 university, which means there's a very high volume of research happening on campus. It's similar to what Division 1 athletics represents for sports, but it's for research, and that BU provides a lot of resources for research and has a lot of people conducting research across the university. For COM, one of the things that we think makes us different from other schools is that we have research faculty as well as professors who are practitioners in their fields. We think that this blend of research and practical experience makes COM a great place to get a well-balanced education that will lead to great jobs. And since COM is a small community, our size helps you to foster strong relationships with your classmates and with your faculty, which we find leads to more personalized mentorship and support. COM also has its own career services office, which is entirely dedicated to COM students and alumni, with a focus on helping students find jobs in the communication and media fields. COM Career Services also actively engages with BU alumni. There are over 400,000 alumni across BU who live in more than 185 countries across the world, which makes a BU degree globally recognized. And here at COM, we have over 33,000 active alumni. In your department sessions, they'll likely be speaking about what some of our alumni have been doing for jobs, and they can also answer questions about internship opportunities, which is another great benefit of being in the city of Boston. Speaking of jobs, Times Higher Education ranked BU 22nd in the world and number 10 in the US in their global university employability rankings. So we hope that you'll leave this presentation with even more reasons to consider BU and the College of Communication for your master's degree. And now I'll pass this to Kayla to tell you more about our master's programs.
Thanks, Lori. So today I'm going to discuss our graduate programs. Please note that we've listed the length of each program, as well as the approximate cohort size next to each degree title. First, I'll begin with our Mass Communication department. First, with our Master of Science in Advertising degree. This program prepares you to become an advertising professional by focusing on creative development, media planning, and brand management. Students also build a portfolio of work with corporate and nonprofit clients through outside internship, as Lori mentioned, and through AdLab, the world's oldest and largest student-run agency, where students work on account teams, creating real campaigns for real clients, including corporations, startups, and nonprofits. Moving on to the Master of Science in Media Science. This is our broadest program at the college, allowing students to expand their theory and research skills while also exploring coursework in graphic design, social media strategy, media effects, marketing, health communication, and political communication. The MS in Media Science program sends its graduates to a wide range of fields, including digital marketing, politics, healthcare, and international relations. If students prefer to focus their elective coursework on research skills and an optional thesis, they can also prepare for advanced academic study at the doctoral level. Next, we have our Master of Science in Marketing Communication Research, where students gain a deep understanding of consumer behavior, market research methodologies, and data-driven marketing strategies. Over 3 semesters, master's students gain quantitative as well as qualitative research skills through a minimum of 4 research classes. The MS Marketing Communication Research program prepares students for positions such as market research analysts or research managers at market research firms or consumer insights departments at larger companies. This program also includes the option to add on a data analytics certificate if students so choose. Next, the Master of Science in Public Relations is the first university, BU was rather, the first university to offer a degree in public relations. BU prides itself in its graduate level coursework where students gain skills focusing on relationships with stakeholders, crafting effective messaging, and managing corporate crises. Similar to AdLab, PR Lab is the world's oldest student-run public relations agency where students work collaboratively on account teams, creating real campaigns for clients such as corporate companies, brands, and nonprofits. The majority of our public relations graduates begin their careers at PR firms or public relations agencies. Transitioning now to our Division of Emerging Media Studies that offers a 3 semesters Master's of Arts degree in Emerging Media Studies. This program offers a unique blend of theory and practice. You'll learn about media analysis, big data, and the role of public policy and new technologies. Right now, the focus on emerging media is often on social media, streaming content, AR, VR, and notably AI. Increasingly, we've seen students use their elective coursework to explore computer science and data classes at BU's Metropolitan College. Emerging Media Studies students also gain hands-on experience through their collaboratory class where they develop a year-long research project to assist nonprofit or corporate clients with a practical research question. Students present their work at the annual Screen Time Conference. Moving on now to our Master of Science degree in journalism. This is also a 3-semester, year-and-a-half program where students can explore coursework in storytelling across platform using video, radio, as well as social media tools alongside traditional reporting techniques. In addition, through electives, students can develop expertise in investigative reporting, trauma journalism, data journalism, sports journalism, as well as science communication. What makes this journalism unique in comparison to others is our partnerships and opportunities through fellowships like our WBR Radio Fellowship, on-campus news outlets like BU News Service and WTBU, as well as BU TV10, our television station, and special opportunities like our State House Reporting Program and the Pulitzer Center for Public Health Reporting. Next, the last department that I'll discuss is our Film and Television department's 4 degree programs. I'm going to begin with the MFA in Film and Television Studies. This is a 2-year, primarily academic degree. The ideal student for the MFA in Film and Television Studies is someone with a deep passion for film and TV. Additionally, an ideal student will possess strong analytical and writing skills and be comfortable engaging with critical theory of film and TV analysis. At the end of this program, students write a year-long academic thesis. The majority of students graduate from this program and choose to apply to PhD programs, but it's also a good fit for students with an interest in film festival administration, where we have several alumni. Next, I'll focus on our 3 degrees that I'll end at BU's Los Angeles campus, so students can intern and expand their professional network in entertainment in LA. Our Master of Fine Arts in Screenwriting is also a 2-year degree that allows students to become skilled and in-demand screenwriters for film and television. This program is ideal for aspiring screenwriters with a strong passion for storytelling, along with a commitment to refining their screenwriting skills. All students graduate with a minimum of 2 feature-length screenplays, spec scripts, pilot scripts, and short scripts. As mentioned before, students spend their 4th semester in Los Angeles, continuing in their writing and pursuing an internship. Moving on now to the Master of Science in Television program. This degree equips students for a successful career in TV producing and management with a strong focus on the business end of TV. Students take classes in producing, line producing, TV management, and can explore elective classes, focusing in production, lighting, sound, and some TV screenwriting coursework as well. This program is 3 semesters, with 2 semesters in Boston and their final semester in LA. Like screenwriting students, television students spend their last semester in LA, taking coursework and pursuing an internship focused in the industry. The last program that I'll detail is the MS in Media Ventures program, which includes 3 semesters as well, only 1 semester in Boston, and their final 2 semesters in Los Angeles. Students take classes in fundamentals of interactive media and market analysis for creative ventures, and it has a strong focus in entrepreneurship. In addition, when students are in the spring and spend their final semester in LA, they experience classes in innovation and media entertainment industry. And during the summer, all Media Ventures students complete an internship and gain industry contacts in LA by presenting their media innovation project at the annual Pitch Fest presentation and conference. So with that, that's kind of a summary of all of our graduate programs. By no means is it totally expansive. You'll learn more, as Lori mentioned, during your meetings with the faculty and current students, where they can speak in greater detail to each degree program. But I'll pass things off now to Lou to discuss a few special opportunities.
Thank you so much, Kayla. So like Kayla mentions that COM grad students do have the opportunities to enroll into different BU study abroad programs during their study at COM. So for Media Venture and Screenwriting students, they are required to go to Los Angeles. So Media Venture students will complete their first semester in Boston and then also relocate to BU LA campus to complete their 2nd and 3rd semesters. Screenwriting students will also go to BU LA to complete their last semesters. So while students in other programs may opt to choose study abroad per their own academic interests and also their plan for the future career development. So this will be optional, not required. So television students usually choose to fly to Los Angeles in their last semester, doing internships there. And journalism students can choose to do Washington, D.C. programs if they have a big interest of politics and want to build their networks to cover political report after graduations. And if they're interested in crisis reporting, they can also join conflicts and crisis reporting programs in Padua, Italy during summer. So many PR and advertising students and also the media science students choose to go to London during summer or go to Los Angeles during fall because they will love to chase for the opportunities to work with the local agencies to support some clients with international backgrounds or facilitate their networks in the entertainment industry. So those are the resources very valuable for the interest of our students, and the students really have the spaces to build their portfolio and their professional record by joining the study abroad programs. Now pass it over to Christy to talk about life in Boston.
Thanks, Lou. So in addition to welcoming you to BU, let us also welcome you to the city of Boston. Boston is one of the top 10 media markets in the world, and it has the highest concentration of colleges and universities in the country. So living in Boston creates really awesome opportunities for networking and building professional connections. BU's campus is located in the heart of the city, so our students benefit from direct access to public transportation. Boston has an easy-to-use system of trains and buses through the MBTA. You'll probably only ever hear it referred to as the T. In fact, right outside of the COM building, there's actually a stop on the Green Line train and a bus stop right across the street, various other stops in walking distance, so very convenient. The MBTA runs to and from pretty much every neighborhood in Boston, and it includes a commuter rail that carries passengers out to the greater Boston area. So between all of these options, you'll really be able to get from your apartment to campus or commute to downtown Boston fairly easily, which is really wonderful and a cost-effective way to reach any offices you might be interning at in the city, or getting to any of those social events that Lori mentioned. Boston is also a major center for research and innovation, particularly in fields like technology, healthcare, biotech. Graduate students have the chance to engage in cutting-edge research and collaborate with industry leaders and experts. You'll see some top companies our students have interned at listed here, and places that they've gone on to work after graduation. So you'll see some big names like the Boston Globe, Weber Shandwick, just to give you a sense of some of those companies. And we can turn over now to housing. So we must say that the vast majority of our graduate students here at BU do choose to live off campus. There's just a lot more options. BU's location benefits. It gives our students the benefit of several super popular neighborhoods in the area. Students can rent apartments that are immediately adjacent to campus or a short bus or train ride away. In addition to the widespread popularity of public transportation, Boston is also an incredibly walking and biking friendly place. BU's campus runs the length of a major street in Boston called Commonwealth Avenue. We love our acronyms around here. You'll really only ever hear it referred to as ComAv. It's lined with really wide sidewalks and designated bike lanes on both sides. So you can really mix and match different methods of getting to campus every day based on things like the weather and how much coffee you've had to drink that morning. So as far as getting yourself familiar with the different housing options, if you look up BU off-campus services, we have the link here, you'll be directed to a site where you can see some of those available apartment listings and just kind of get a sense of the different kind of apartments that are available. We also have a link here to the university-wide grad student site. And through the housing page on this site, you can access some really helpful information about how to work with local realtors and see some general but very, very helpful information about the different neighborhoods and types of rentals that are available in those different areas. Then the final link on this slide has information about living on campus. And again, we stress that on-campus housing for grad students is limited and truly not really the preferred option. But for those of you that are interested, this site will address all of your questions about more of that dorm and suite style housing here on campus. And that's it for housing.
Thank you, Christy. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about financial aid resources for graduate students studying at the College of Communication. So most of our students are funding their studies through a combination of 3 different sources. These sources include merit-based scholarship, student employment or working on campus, and educational loan options. So we'll talk a little bit about these 3 sources. First, about 80% of our graduate students do receive some form of merit-based scholarship. So the vast majority of our students do have scholarship, but will usually use the other sources to fund the remainder of their program. A little bit more about merit-based scholarship. We do not have a separate application for scholarship. So when you apply for admission, you're automatically considered for scholarship at the same time. And if you are offered admission, in your acceptance letter, you'll be notified of whether or not you're receiving scholarship. Scholarship amounts can range very significantly, anywhere from $5,000 a year up to a maximum of around $36,000 per year. And this really depends on the faculty's review of your application and how well they feel you're a fit for the program. And to put those numbers into perspective, our tuition and fees for the current academic year were about $67,786. So those more competitive and our higher scholarship amounts do cover roughly 50% of tuition and fees for the academic year. So to cover that other 50%, we do encourage students to look into the other opportunities available for them, which can include assistantship opportunities working on campus. So a little bit more about assistantships. All graduate students are eligible for these positions. So whether you're a domestic student or an international student, you are eligible to work on campus. And roughly, again, half of our students will have an assistantship position in any given semester. And this can be a wide range of opportunities, including some more academic positions where you might serve as a teaching assistant for helping a professor with an undergraduate level class, or a research assistant where you're helping a professor conduct their research. And we also have a lot of administrative positions where you might be working in the career services office or the writing center, or even with our team helping out with the admissions process. So there's a wide range of opportunities available. And these positions, unlike scholarship, do not go directly towards paying your tuition and fees. Instead, they pay an hourly rate of about $20 an hour up to $25 an hour, and they're paid out to you in the form of a paycheck. So students receive payment every Friday for the work that they do on campus. So while this doesn't go directly towards covering your tuition and fees, payment from these positions is incredibly helpful for the other expenses that you might have. So for your rent and groceries and kind of the day-to-day expenses that you'll have as a graduate student here at COM, assistantships can be really helpful for that. And the last source of financial aid that we'll touch on briefly is educational loan options. So if you are a US citizen or a permanent resident, you're encouraged to complete the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. And through the FAFSA, all graduate students are eligible for the federal unsubsidized loan. And all graduate students have the same borrowing eligibility, which is $20,500 per year. The federal unsubsidized loan is a lower interest federal student loan. So we do encourage students, if they're considering loan options, to look at federal financial aid first. But then beyond what's offered through FAFSA, there are a wide range of private loan options. And we do have resources, including a partnership with Credible.com to help students identify and compare and contrast these different options. While a lot of private loans are reserved for domestic students, so US citizens or permanent residents, international students may qualify for some of these loans, especially if they have a cosigner who is a US citizen. So that's a little bit about financial aid for graduate programs. And now we'll turn over to talking a little bit more about the application. So to complete an application for our graduate programs, everything is done online through our online application. So you can access that through our website. The link at the bottom of this slide here is also where you'll find the link to apply, as well as more detailed information about what's required by program. But in general, the following things are required for all degrees. So we do have an application fee of $95 that you'll be prompted to submit when you complete your application. We also ask for a copy of your unofficial transcript. So at the time that you're applying, this does not need to be official. You can just provide an unofficial copy. If you are accepted to the program and decide to enroll, that's when we'll ask for your final official transcript. We also ask for 3 letters of recommendation, and we prefer if these letters can come from academic or professional references, especially people that know you well and can speak to your ability to succeed in a graduate program. Each degree will also have program-specific requirements. These are usually writing requirements. All programs have a personal statement, and then some programs will have additional writing samples or writing requirements as well. And again, the link at the bottom of this slide is the best place to find that information specifically about the program of your interest. We do not require the GRE for our master's programs. It is optional. If you're thinking about our PhD program, that's the only time you would need to submit the GRE. We'll also ask for a copy of your resume or CV. And we also have a partnership with Cura Talent, which is a platform that you'll access through the online application, where you'll be asked to answer a couple of video questions and a written question. These are timed responses, so intended to be very casual, off the cuff. And the best way to think about these is they're very similar to like an interview style question. So the types of questions you might be asked at a job interview or an admissions interview, those are the type of questions you might want to be prepared for on Cura Talent. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this on the next slide, but if you did not receive a degree from an English-speaking institution, we also do require you to submit an English proficiency exam. For English proficiency exams, we will accept 3 different types. So we'll accept the TOEFL, the IELTS, or the Duolingo English exam. If you received a degree from an institution where English was the language of instruction, you'll be automatically waived from submitting the TOEFL or IELTS, especially if this information is included on your transcript. If it's not clear from your transcript whether or not your courses were taught in English, we might ask for a letter from your school just to certify that, but you would be waived from that requirement. If you did not receive a degree from an institution where English is the medium of instruction, you can submit any of these 3 exams. For the TOEFL, we do have a minimum score requirement of a 100. For the IELTS, we have a minimum score requirement of a 7.0 overall band score. And for the Duolingo, our minimum score requirement is 130. We have no preference for English proficiency exams, so you can pick the one that's most convenient for you. Any of these options will suffice for the application. And once again, we do not require the GRE for our master's programs. We only require the GRE for the PhD in Emerging Media Studies program. You're certainly welcome to submit the GRE if you'd like to. So if you have a score you're really proud of and you want to submit it, you certainly can, but it's not going to be factored in very heavily to the admissions process as it's not required for our application. And then we'll close out by just reminding everyone about the application deadlines and some dates you might want to be aware of as we move forward. So our first deadline is for our PhD program. The PhD in Emerging Media Studies deadline will be January 15th. But for our master's programs, which we're really talking about on this presentation, the deadline you want to be most aware of is our priority deadline, which is coming up on February 1st. So we usually recommend that students apply by February 1st to receive the highest consideration for merit-based scholarship. This is just when we have the most funding available. Applying by February 1st also guarantees that you'll get an admission decision in time to attend some of our accepted student events in the spring. So if you're able to, we really recommend applying by February 1st. If you're not able to, our final deadline is May 1st. So that's when our applications will have their final deadline. And between February 1st and May 1st, we offer a rolling admission. So if you apply in, sometime in March, you can expect to get your decision usually in like 4 to 7 weeks. So definitely recommend applying by February 1st, but if you're not able to, you have until May 1st.